Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NinjaTrader Live. My name is Jim Cagnina. I am Senior Market Strategist, and welcome to this afternoon's special FOMC edition with our distinguished panel. We have Craig Shapiro, Macro Strategist Extraordinaire. We have our Senior Economist, I should say, Tracy Shuchart, a.k.a. Shy Girl. And we also have Blake Morrow, the Pit Czar, here with us today. Good afternoon, everybody. How's everyone doing?
Well, we have some breaking news. A U.S. just seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. So I'll just chime in with that. That literally just happened. I guess U.S. forces have intercepted and seized a sanctioned oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. According to people familiar with the matter, the White House hasn't immediately responded. So oil just shot up on that, of course, and that came literally as the intro music was playing. So.
Wow, that is hot off the presses, man. Wow. Well, so Tracy, also I heard Hassett talk. What was he saying on TV just now?
Yes, Hassett, of course, decided to go on Fox News, 35 minutes before the Fed rate decision. And he basically, besides saying, Trump could make the final Fed decision by next week, he said that he expects that the Fed will cut 25. However, you could definitely get to 50 or more the way he is looking at the situation, and repeats the Fed has plenty of room to reduce interest rates. The Fed will need to do some more. He was very adamant and, really saying, he would cut 50 or more.
All righty then. No surprises there. Blake, me, Craig, and Shay were talking this morning about this FOMC, upcoming FOMC stuff, and just wanted to get your general opinion on where you think, is 25 a BIP cut a good idea right now?
Is it a good idea? No, if I was in the FOMC voting committee, I'd be joining Schmidt probably in a rate hike rather than a cut. But that's just me. That's what I'm saying. No, but as far as a cut goes, and as far as what the market's expecting, that is what they're expecting. Everybody's expecting a more hawkish cut, meaning that the Fed's going to go on a pause for the next at least couple meetings, probably into April. And I think the market's pretty well priced for that now. It's going to be really interesting to see the dot plots, who the dissenters are and in what direction they're dissenting. We're almost guaranteed to have Mirren, voting for a 50 basis point cut, and then Schmidt is probably going the other direction. And if anybody joins Schmidt, whether it's Musa Lamb or Barr or somebody who joins Schmidt, it's going to be a really interesting FOMC meeting, and I think it's going to be a really interesting reaction to the market. And Tracy and I were talking just with us just before we came on air, that then you have to have Powell come in, and he's going to be the smoother, trying to make sure he maintains the peace.
Craig, is he going to maintain his cool today?
Yeah, he's always cool, calm, and collected. Any questions he doesn't really like, he doesn't answer, or he answers the question, as he sees fit. So, look, I think a couple things just on the dot plot, which will come out at 2:00. That'll give an indication of really how many dissents there were, because each of the members has to put in the dot as of Friday. They do have the opportunity to change it if they want to, but we will see, even if we only get one or maybe two dissents, we'll see of the non-voters how many of them also didn't want to vote for a cut today. So we could have 5 or 6, kind of votes and non-voters up there who did not want to cut today. So that'll be interesting. The 2026 dot is also going to be interesting. Market expectations are for 3.1 as the rate at the end of next year. The last Fed dot plot would have said somewhere between either 3.4 or 3.6. Well, if we cut today and the dots stay at 3.6 for 2026, that means no cuts for next year, so that would be a hawkish interpretation. And the last thing I'd say with respect to the statement is there is a forward guidance paragraph in there. I think it's paragraph 3. And what people are looking for is, last time they said in considering additional adjustments to the target range for the federal funds rate. So those are the words, in considering additional adjustments. Prior to that, they had used the phrase in considering the extent and timing of additional adjustments. If they reintroduce the phrase extent and timing, that is indicative that they're likely to pause at the next meeting, because the last time they had that phrase in there was they put it back in last December after they cut and they went to a pause. So we'll have to keep an eye on if we see extent and timing added back to that forward guidance paragraph to give some indications of whether or not the press conference, which comes at 2:30, is going to be more hawkish than not.
And I think also people will be looking to see whether they intend to increase their balance sheet. Again, you know, they stopped QT. They have been starting to talk about possibly buying more T-bills. So we'll see if we do see them increase the balance sheet again, which obviously the market is going to love that and interpret that as very bullish.
Yeah, Tracy, I think that's a good point, because a couple, Bank of America, Bloomberg, SocGen, a bunch of banks in the course of the last few days have really started to push this idea that this T-bill purchases were going to restart, as early as this month, and could be as high as Bank of America is calling for $45 billion a month, which would basically be the equivalent of what was done kind of after the SVB issue in 2023. So that's a massive amount of T-bill easing, T-bill buying that would lead to financial condition easing for next year. I don't think it's going to be that high, but I think the market is pricing in that direction. So if we don't get it, that would be another indication that the Fed's a little bit more hawkish or slower than I think what people are thinking.
Can I ask a question here, if you guys don't mind? As far as you think about like the trajectory of most central banks right now, and this is where, as an FX guy predominantly, I'm looking at the hawkish cut that New Zealand, the RBNZ gave was it 2 weeks ago, and you've seen the Kiwi really respond. Everybody's looking at the RBA possibly hiking. ECB, there's the market starting to anticipate that the ECB might hike this next year, and then you got the Bank of Canada, which just met today, and people are starting to look at them as well, when their next move might actually be a hike as well. How's that sit if you have the Fed that might still be cutting rates, but you got other central banks that might be raising rates? It's interesting to see that dynamic play out, don't you guys think?
No, I agree. I mean, we spoke about that a little this morning, just this idea that, the end of 24, most of 25, you kind of saw a consolidated central bank global easing pattern. And as we transition here into the fourth quarter this year and into next year, you're seeing a little bit more of a Christmas tree lights pattern, right? Certain banks are easing, certain banks are tightening, certain banks are on hold. I think the ECB comments this morning about a growth upgrade, and Schnabel's comments talking about the potential for a hike, should be back on the table for next year, I think is a very interesting dynamic here in play. I think the rest of the world is acknowledging that inflationary pressures really have not been slayed. They have an inflation first mandate, or inflation only mandate, really. And so when they see those pricing pressures, they're more likely to act, whereas the Fed has the dual mandate. And so constantly in this balance between inflation, which is not really moving back down to target, but a labor market that is slowing. And so the balance there. But I think that it will create incredible trading opportunities in FX next year. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Heck yeah.
And right now, Craig, I mean, the euro is caught a bid, right? We're trading at the highs of the session. This is in the futures, the euro versus US dollar, still below that 1.17 level, which is kind of, longer term resistance, but definitely perky today.
Yeah, I think it's that interest rate differential story that is, coming to the fold here. If you're increasing the odds of an ECB hike for next year at some point, and you're talking about still the Fed cutting rates and probably never raising rates,
ever again,
with Trump at the White House, it just makes it very difficult to buy dollar versus euro on an interest rate differential perspective. I think from a growth perspective, U.S. growth is still outperforming, but if European growth is bottomed and start to reaccelerate, that's another tip in the cap for the euro as well.
I mean, Blake, what do you make of this chart? Oh, I'm sorry, Tracy, go ahead.
No, I was just going to throw in there, I don't think people are, buying the euro because Europe is so great right now, right? It's more like they have to.
Yeah, and Tracy, just to mention that, or to add to that, really is The Europe is looked at as more of stability right now. We have an incoming Fed chair, which obviously really strong possibility at this point in time that it's going to be Kevin Hassett. And as you just pointed out, he was on Fox talking all sorts of interest rate sound bites, and people look around and say, I'm not really sure I want the U.S. is not the safety mechanism that it used to be, at least not right now, not during this administration. And Europe may not be this beautiful growth scenario, but it is stable, and that stability says something when you're an asset manager and you want to park your money in different currencies. I think you're starting to see that move away from the dollar. It's interesting to see how, and Jim, you're pointing out this chart, which is just over the last 4 or 5 months where we've consolidated. But if you think about the whole year, we spent the first half of the year traveling towards 120 from the 110 level basically in the euro, and it's like 114, excuse me, at the beginning of the year. Wait, no, I take that back. Let me go back and let me pull up my charts really quick. Yeah, we're at 101, 104. At the beginning of the year, we rallied all the way towards 120. We've just been consolidating gains since then. I mean, it's hard to be a dollar buyer when price action says that people are just not willing to buy dollars, no matter how high the Fed funds rate is right now.
Yeah, I'm just kind of, a couple hours, an hour before less than an hour before the decision, just looking at the currency pairs on the upper left corner of my quote board here, it's, dollars down against everything except for the British real. So it's getting ready to go. Anyway. So hey, one thing you said, Craig, before that, I didn't know, you could change a dot plot. I thought once you made a dot, that was it. You couldn't erase the dot.
Yeah, so basically the way the process works is the members and non-voters and voters are supposed to submit their summary of economic projections on the Friday before the Fed meeting, and then they have the meeting, and then they are given the opportunity to change should they want to. I think it's rare. A lot of times they change if you get data. So we've seen them change at times. If we get a CPI reading on a Tuesday or a Wednesday of the Fed meeting, then you could change. But my understanding is you could. You submit on Friday, and if you want to change, but typically, they don't change. And so I think what we'll get today is we will see, various members who are not in favor of cutting rates today, and that should show up in, I think, the 2025 dot.
All right. Well,
but as far as dissents are concerned, I think we'll get a dissent from Schmid, and maybe we'll get a dissent from Muslim. I don't suspect we're going to get a dissent from any of the governors. I don't think Cook or Barr will use this as an opportunity to dissent. I think Powell is good at corralling the governors. I think
Goolsbee maybe.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean,
we'll see we're going to see in a couple minutes, right? So we're going to get that in a couple minutes, and we're going to
we'll find out.
Craig and Shai are speed readers. We're going to find out right at like 2 minutes, I think.
Thank goodness, because I like to just look at price action. I feel that there are people that are way better at doing that than me, but I'm really good at just looking at what the entire market, how the market's interpreting it. And I know I'm going to be looking at seeing how Bitcoin reacts. I'm going to be watching precious metals. I'm going to be watching the SPUs and the dollar, obviously.
I'm going to throw up the Treasury bond for now, and then we'll pivot to all of those right now. But we'll keep an eye on the bonds right now. We have a little bit of a fight back up off the mat so far today. We were pushing that 115 handle right now. Now we're 115.17 or so. But again, anything's going to happen in like a minute and a half. See what yields are doing,
nothing will happen, or nothing will happen. And
I was gonna ask real quick, since I haven't been on with you guys over the last couple of days, how are you interpreting this move in yields globally? I mean, this has been a big move in yields.
Yeah, we talked a lot about this morning, but go ahead, Craig. You can start.
No, I was just going to say, for me, the long end, I think, has been being driven by what's going on in Japan and what's going on in Europe, just kind of this increase in deficit spending and need to focus on domestic economy, the stimulus from the new prime minister in Japan, and kind of remilitarization in Europe. And I think, the calls on capital for these global sovereigns is growing. And so I think that's been pressuring the long end in addition to, the AI CapEx story. So, that's been pressuring yields. And we'll see. We'll see if the, how bonds react to, whatever Powell has to say in 30 seconds.
Yeah, we do have, and everybody, we do have, Powell is speaking at 2:30. I know you guys will be on Trade the Close, but I will be in the chat, and I'll put anything of importance that he may or may not say in the chat.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's XYZ and Nick for a tick. They're the brave souls who said, yeah, okay, I'll go ahead and do this. I'll do this at 2:30.
All right.
Oh my God.
There we go. 25 basis point cut as expected. No surprise there.
Goolsbee and Schmid dissent, and balance sheet will begin growing 40 billion. That's dovish. And then they did include this phrase, "We'll consider the extent and timing," and that's hawkish, right? So that's the phrase about not cutting rates in January, but balanced by this T-bill purchase thing up to 40 billion in the next 30 days. Have to see if that's just into year end or if that's going to be for every month.
So is this the return of QE, Craig?
I mean, the Fed will say it's not, but when they're buying bills in order to help provide reserves back to markets and alleviate some concerns about funding strain, it's hard for it's going to be hard for folks to say it's something different than that.
Yeah.
Well, see, they didn't say how much. They just said that they will initiate purchases of shorter Treasury securities, but as needed. So leave that to your imagination. I'm sure somebody's going to ask Powell that in the Q&A, in the presser. So we'll see what he says.
Yeah, so interesting. We can get off the bond chart in a second, but I just wanted to kind of point out, two FOMCs ago, we had a huge rally going into the meeting, right? And that was telling me something. We had a pretty big candle the day of the meeting, even though we settled lower, and then we broke. Almost the same phenomenon the next meeting, although we consolidated a little bit ahead of time, kind of a big rally up to, 119 handle. And then the meeting day, boom, big red candle, we sold off. Now we have the opposite structure. We have this big sell-off leading into the meeting, and now we have the start of a green candle here. So I don't know. I mean, it's not as big it's not a benchmark candle by any sense of the imagination, but we are bumping up against that 24 level, which is kind of my line in sand. So interesting to see. We'll see what happens once Powell starts talking in this market. But some of the other markets, I don't know if we have any huge amount of movement. Let's just kind of go through let's start with the E-mini S&P. Not a lot of movement here either. Yeah, we wicked up to Jax 4 and just kind of settled down. Really nice Gaussian distribution on the volume profile here. So this is definitely waiting for Chair Powell to start talking.
Yeah, absolutely. Bitcoin got a little jiggy.
So you have 7 officials who are looking for no rate cuts in 2026, and then 4 who are looking at only 1 cut. So that's 11 out of. So that's what the median is going to be for 1 cut. That'll put it down to, basically the 3.4, which I think is kind of in line with expected. Although market pricing is a little bit lower than that, but I think it's not the 0 cuts for next year, which would have been the most hawkish thing.
And some would argue that 3.4 is pretty close to the real neutral rate.
Yeah, I think most folks are thinking neutral rate is down closer to 3%, and so we're approaching it. We're getting close. I think we're talking about moderately restrictive territory when we're talking about 3.4. So. We also did get, I don't think we mentioned Steve Myron. It looks like he did dissent as well. So the vote was 9-3.
Anybody call for 50 this time?
Myron did.
Myron.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's not, of course. And then
Blake, you seen anything in the
you
currency
had-
while
Jeff-
Tracy's reading?
Jeff-
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say the dollar is showing some signs of weakness. We finally kind of cracked that 116.60 level, which is basically the highs of the day on the euro. But I'm not completely sold on this dollar move just yet because, equities have they kind of spiked up and they're pulled back a little bit. But we're seeing like Bitcoin reverse, and I don't feel good about selling dollars whenever I see like crypto kind of reverse, and even precious metals aren't following through to the upside. But I'll tell you what, the dollar looks vulnerable right now. We have the euro; it's about ready to get up towards that 70 level. I'm not sure what do you have on your chart there?
This is Bitcoin futures right here. Just kind of seeing, Tracy mentioned the reaction right
got
now.
got a little jiggy, is what I said.
Yeah.
That is a technical term. By the way,
Yeah, very jiggy.
If you sit for the CMT exam, it's going to ask you the definition of jiggy.
Right.
But I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much that candle was such a knee jerk. This is a 30-minute candle, but still, this was reaction based on that 2 o'clock print, and it almost spanned the whole day, right? This market doesn't know which way to go yet. Now it's starting to sell off again, so we'll see.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
Jim, do you mind pulling up the euro really quick? I'll show you that we're peeking our head into new highs on the session here, and yeah, you can see it right there. Just trying to release to the upside. I really get, as you pointed out earlier, I get really bullish above 117.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how it reacts, on the way up there. But you can see it has broken new highs on the session thus far.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's a nice breakout to the upside. I mean, it started during the initial balance, end initial balance. We kind of started moving, got a little bit anticipatory here. So we'll see if that continues. But that's a pretty big buyer's wick at the bottom of this 30-minute candle that we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
You got the 2-year on the move too.
Oh yeah. What are yields doing at the moment?
The long end's just kind of sitting where it started.
Look at the 2-year.
All right, let me do that. It might take us. I haven't pulled this up today, so it might take a second for data to populate into the platform. But we'll just see what happens.
It's
we go.
pretty
Wow.
nasty, Tracy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, but if you look at the yield curve now, it's like it's from versus a month ago. When you get to that 18-month period, yields have increased proportionately greater on the longer end, and then they've decreased on the shorter end. And we're kind of seeing that right now with this big wick. If that makes any sense, what I just said.
That did. But so the initial reaction has been, I think, as Craig pointed out, I think it was smart for him to just signal that this is pretty dovish, just as they are starting this QE process, and you're seeing the initial knee-jerk reaction is higher. If we don't get any pushback from the Fed Chair Powell during his press conference, I mean, we have the dollar at lows, we have gold that's pressing its highs of almost of the session, and I mean it looks like risk assets want to rally here.
Let me pull up a gold chart.
Yeah, we got ES rallying. It took it a minute. It was
Yeah.
deciding what to do. But you've got ES rallying. You've got NASDAQ rallying. Not as much.
So,
Yeah.
Craig, what's your interpretation of gold trying to make new highs here on this news?
Yeah,
On the day.
I think this idea about the T-bill purchases had been floated around, been going around, and clearly the Fed, was signaling it to some people in the know already. And so Bank of America was the leading rates guy, put this out earlier, end of last week. And I think the market is, happy about that because it feels like that, there's no real risk now that the Fed is buying bills again. There's no year-end funding strain. There's no concern. They're trying to get out ahead of any particular problems that maybe they felt like the amount of QT that they did bringing the balance sheet down had gone a little bit too far. This rectifies that. I think what they're going to try to say is, that doesn't matter. That's like watching paint dry in the background. That's financial plumbing stuff. It's really not a big deal. It's not monetary policy. The monetary policy is actually the rates tool. And if you look at the dots, we're not that dovish. And if you look at we've added this clause, this phrase back, it means we're probably going to be on pause, but the market sees what the market wants, right? So they'll see the liquidity, they'll see the balance sheet moving higher again. I think the dollar is, as Blake points out, the charts aren't great, and so to see gold moving up, maybe taking out highs. I'm surprised Bitcoin's not stronger. We'll see if it picks up any momentum here into the press conference. But Powell will have a tough time, I think, here trying to explain to people that the Fed is hawkish, but is going to be expanding the balance sheet, right? I mean, it's
exactly.
just I think it's going to be a tough narrative for him to do.
It's not QE, right?
Right, not QE, right?
It's not QE. So that's going to be tricky. I will look forward to somebody pressing him on that.
Russell 2000's at new all-time highs right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, the small caps are going to dig lower interest rates no matter what. But look at this guy go. Wow.
Yep.
Yep.
Woo.
Yeah, we're pressing higher. So, yeah, I agree with Craig. It's going to be hard for Powell to slap anything on this pig, other than lipstick, I guess. So,
I mean, interesting that NASDAQ is the weakest of all of the indexes right now.
Yeah, let's stick with the Russell for a second. I mean, this is a pretty big breakout to the upside here. I mean, we've been teasing this Jax 3 level at 2540 all morning long, and then boom, we're above call resistance, which is 2550, and then we have targets on the upside still. And Blake, you mentioned it was an all-time high. Did you mention?
it is. At least it was on the IWM. Maybe let me double check that. So
futures aren't quite there
just
yet.
shy.
Yeah, we're
Just shy. 2566 was the
maybe of the futures. Yeah, you guys look at futures. I was just looking at the some of the ETFs and stuff and the indexes. So
yeah, we're almost there. We're only 10 points away, 15 points away.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and you look at I tend to look at currencies to confirm everything that I'm doing, because obviously that's where the big money's at. I mean, the Canadian dollar is on its highs of the day. The Kiwi is about ready to break out a 38% retracement. The Aussie dollar has been nonstop beating the hell out of anybody who's been short the last 2 weeks, and it's about ready to take them to the woodshed. And you got the euro that's perky. You got sterling that, following the UK budget, everybody thought that sterling was going to get killed. It's not. It's actually going the other direction. So the dollar's really taken some heat here across the board, across the whole FX spectrum, if you will.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Japanese yen, but before we get there, let's. Tracy mentioned NASI's the least happy. Well, I'll put it the least happy stock index future. Let me go to an intraday chart. Well, we're still trying to press up to the London initial balance high, which was something, but it looks like sellers rejected that idea outright just now. So, my guess, my experience has been a lot of times the equity markets will hover around the point of control. You whiplash, I guess you would say, in this half an hour waiting for Powell, and then you really get jiggy when Powell starts talking, because one sentence could set something off to the upside, could set something off to the downside, then he reverses it the next comment. So there's going to be some intraday volatility in the equity markets, regardless of where we end up at the end of the day, I think.
I would totally agree with that.
Yeah, people are just looking for reasons not like give me a reason not to be buying stocks, going into year end. We're in window dressing season. Liquidity is going to start to get poor. And, asset managers are like, look, I'm underperforming right now, and I'm not up to 20% on the year.
Yeah.
So I've got to start pressing some buttons soon. So if I don't have any good excuse not to be in after today, I'm going to be in. And that's where I think you're going to start seeing the FOMO trade take hold as we go into year end. Again, if you're not keeping up with the benchmark, S&P, you're going to be chasing.
So you're saying money's going to flow into the equity market because of that?
I believe so. If Powell doesn't give us any reason not to be on the long side of this market, you're going to start to see end of year flows going only in one direction, and that's going to be pointing to Santa Claus and his rally coming up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the reason why, the last Bitcoin washout that we saw, we really haven't seen institutional investors come back in, because it's the end of the year. What are they going to do? They're down. It's down on the year. They're not going to be, chasing it for, a hope up. That's probably a story for next year. Whereas equity markets are up, they can chase that.
Yeah, I mean, I just toggled over the E-mini S&P, and hang on one second. This VWAP really kind of tells the story. I mean, ever since that 11 o'clock hour, we've been trading above that VWAP, which wasn't really arcing up too much until just now, telling me that there was buyers were kind of in charge at this point, and right now they certainly still are. So we'll see if that continues. Sorry, I cut someone off. Was it you, Craig?
Yeah, what I was just kind of trying to go through everything here and reflect on, not use the price action to dictate my opinion, but actually look at what was said or was attempted to be said. And so if I think about the dots moving down to three, well, first off, for 2025, there were 6 people of the 18 who did not want a rate cut. That's a lot. As far as 2026 is concerned, the median dot has moved to 3.4. Market is down at 3.1, so a little bit more, let's say, hawkish than what was priced. And they've included this phrase of extent and timing back into the forward-looking statement, which was what they did back in December of last year, which was indicative of the pause. That was the last rate cut that the Fed did, during that cycle. So I think Powell is going to come out and, kind of give a little bit more of a hawkish tone to his press conference. Really, the thing that's most dovish is this idea that's been floated about the balance sheet, and kind of go digging into the details there. Really, what they're talking about is $40 billion a month of purchases, kind of for December through March, and then starting in April, likely to see that come down again. So they're talking about providing this liquidity kind of through year end and maybe through the first quarter to alleviate some stress in reserves, but don't anticipate this being something that's going to be with us forever. Now, the market will do what it will always do when it sees that kind of liquidity, but I think as Powell tries to navigate the puts and takes of this meeting, my sense is he's going to err more on the side of trying to tell the market that easing is probably finished for now, unless the labor market really starts to significantly deteriorate. We'll get some more data on that next week and in the coming months. But based on what I'm seeing here, I think January odds are not very good for a cut now.
I love Craig's very balanced approach and actually reading through everything and versus price action. But at the same time, the market was already really thinking that the Fed's not going to be cutting rates January and February the first 2 meetings of the year. So isn't that kind of in line with what you're saying, Craig? I mean, that's already what the market's thinking.
Yeah, look, I think that then the question becomes, well, what's the strength of the economy? What does the inflation outlook look like? What does the labor data actually look like? And we'll get another read of that next week. But you're right. I mean, the market is going to say the Fed's our friend. They're providing liquidity. And the next incremental rate cut is really not a big deal. But if Powell is more hawkish and kind of really signals that the bar now is very high for them to cut again, they'd have to see, some numerical thing or a consistency of, consecutive labor reports that are poor, that maybe could shake the tree here. But you're right. I mean, it's December. People are going to see that liquidity, and it's going to be hard for him to say that when they're adding liquidity again, that it's not green light, game on, risk on again.
Sure. Yeah, we have markets pricing in 30% chance or so of June and 50 September and over 50 for December 2026. So basically they're looking for 2 markets are looking for, or traders are looking for 2 more Fed cuts in 2026 right now from what they've seen so far.
But that's pushing it way back, right, Tracy?
So yeah, I mean, I think everybody thinks that we're going to get a new Fed chair, and that June meeting they're going to cut 100 basis points if it has it. I don't think markets really believe that's going to happen, but I think that's what people are assuming. But I don't think traders trading these markets necessarily think that's going to happen.
There's a new sheriff in town. Oh my gosh! Any data on any changes in the future projections for GDP, out of curiosity?
haven't seen. I got to look at for the GDP one. I do know that they're looking for a modest tick down in the unemployment rate for next year, and they're assuming a core PCE will end next year down at 2.5%. I don't know how I got to look at the distribution of of that, but that would be consistent with why there are some that feel that the Fed should be cutting next year as inflation falls again. I think that the issue that they'll face is that the near-term drivers of inflation are likely higher first.
Well, particularly when you have an administration that is focused, has said, we are ready to provide more fiscal stimulus right now. Going into 2026, they are looking to provide stimulus to the market. So that is going to also be an issue for the Fed because obviously the administration is looking at midterms, right? That's why they're talking about tariff checks and they're talking about more fiscal stimulus in 2026 and why we see a little bit of backtracking on some of these tariffs, particularly food-related tariffs, because they're trying to bring down costs for consumers because that is a big concern for consumers. They're not buying the fact that the government is telling them that prices are down when they're not. So I think this is all going to be a huge factor in the inflation equation next year for certain.
Yeah. Hey, Jim, just looking at the dots, they've actually upgraded their assessment of GDP from 1.8% for next year to 2.3%, and from 2027 from 1.9 to 2. The unemployment rate stays flat at 4.4 versus the prior projection, and core PCE has gone from 2.6 to 2.5, right? So they're keeping unemployment flat. They're ticking down their estimate of core PCE. Their expectations for growth are higher, and they're still going to be cutting rates next year. So I think that's the median person wants to still cut rates next year.
So you're raising GDP estimates and you're cutting rates and you're adding a little bit of QE. That's just running this economy hot. Hot.
And you have an administration that wants to run it hot as well on the fiscal side. This is going to be a problem. Just throwing that out there so nobody's taken by surprise next year.
Right. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think? How important do you think the jobs report is next week? I mean, obviously looking back at November's data, what do you guys think?
I'll jump in here. I think the data is going to be horrible. I was about to say a bad word, but I won't. But
you can't say that the data is going to be shitty on this
Nobody
show,
has a sailor mouth around here. Nobody.
Be a big crap show because you're going to get, you're going to have like half-assed October data, right? Because nobody was around to collect the information, and all they do is relying on companies to, go into the computer system and give them the information, which whether people did or didn't while the government was out is, I think it's questionable. You also don't, the survey data they take literally and tells people like, going door to door, calling people and saying, taking a survey. It's a literal, actual physical survey. They weren't able to do that. So I think that data is going to be completely trash, and it's going to be mixed in with November data. So I think this whole report is not, I anticipate it to be terrible, and I think you'll see so many revisions on this particular upcoming report in the months ahead.
So really, I mean, when does the data finally get normalized? We got to wait till February or March, April?
Well, I think December data, I would think is probably good. So, when we start getting December data in January, that's probably, I think, reasonable to think that data is at least back to normal. I mean, if you believe the BLS to begin with, which, just saying, I think it's questionable.
All right, we're wrapping. We're winding down. Let's get some last thoughts from everybody. Let's start with you, Blake. What's last minute thoughts here?
Well, last minute thoughts are: I'd like to see how the dollar reacts post Powell's press conference. He, as obviously has to go out and do some explaining. about these purchases. I'm just looking around on FinTwit, and everybody's circling around the QE wagon right now. So the dollar is, yeah, of course, the dollar is just kind of sitting, a little weak, but not in complete breakdown territory. So it's kind of mirroring exactly what you're seeing, or the inverse of what you're seeing with equities, like the S&P's a little hesitant from going up, and I think to get follow through, you're gonna have to have a Powell that is not pushing back from a hawkish standpoint, which Craig was talking about a little bit earlier, that he very well could put the kibosh on everything that we've seen thus far.
All right, Craig.
Yeah, look, I think he's going to be sensitive to this notion that what they're doing with the T-bill purchases is not really adding liquidity; it's financial plumbing, and I think he's going to push back against this idea that this is money printing and that this is a reason to get constructive on risk. I think he's going to try. He's going to try. Whether the market believes him or not, we'll see. But with respect to the other part, the rates part, I think adding this extent and timing paragraph statement back to the paragraph, and the 6 votes that we got to not cut, or the 6 members who didn't want to cut today, plus the median dot only going down 1 for next year, I think is more hawkish than not. It is a hawkish cut. Whether or not was priced entirely by the equity market, we'll see. I think the equity market was probably looking for more easing on rates. They didn't get it. They did get it on T-bills. So I don't know. Maybe it's 6 and 1, half dozen of the other. We'll see.
All right, Tracy.
Yeah, I just think Powell's. Just quickly, I think Powell, whatever Powell says, it's going to. He's going to have to walk a tight rope, and say things that are not too hawkish, not too dovish. I definitely agree with Craig. He's going to downplay this T-bill purchases no matter what. But again, I don't. Everybody's QE. Just exploded on Twitter. So I think, everybody's going to interpret that as QE. And so we'll have to see, I think for right now, if you're trying to trade this, just be careful while Powell's speaking. Yeah. And that usually lasts about 45 minutes.
Awesome. Well, great panel. I appreciate you guys. Blake, good seeing you. I'll talk to you Friday for sure. Can't wait. Craig, talk to you tomorrow. And then Tracy, I'll talk to you later today. Thank you guys for everything. It was great.
Sounds good.
Thank you, guys.
All right. It is time to go to a quick edge report. All right, we showed most of these charts already just now, so we're going to do this kind of quickly here, and then we're going to get to our main event. Remember, we have Nick for a tick and XYZ. They're going to be here trading the close with what we expect to be a super volatile period here. I mean, we're talking Jay Powell press conference. There's going to be some, a statement. There's going to be a speech, and then there's going to be some Q&As that some of them are going to be friendly and some of them are not going to be friendly. Let's shoot over to the E-mini S&P. We'll just kind of look at an intraday chart really quick on some of the indices. We wicked all the way up to that JAX2 level at 68.75. This is super typical when you have this kind of 2 o'clock report, and then you got that one. It's kind of like a dead zone right now where anything could happen, right? We're waiting for more information. We're right back down below the London initial balance high after all of that right now. So trading pretty close to the top of the value area on the session volume profile. And then the point of controls is not out of reach right now. It's at 48. So we're I don't know, 7-8 points away from that. That VWAP, though, is key for me. I want to see where we are with this session VWAP. I have a 30-minute chart, so it's going to look a little different on a 10-minute chart. But you could see from this point of view here, pretty much from lunchtime forward, buyers are trying to stay in charge by pushing us up off of that VWAP every chance it gets. Now, right now, we're right at it, but we do have a big slope up because of that big wick right there. It's kind of skewed to the upside right now, but VWAP for me is going to be important going forward here. JAX1 is right there as well at 60, what are we at, 66.50. Taking a peek at the NASI, since we're probably going to be doing some index futures trading later on this afternoon, let's take a peek real quick. A beautiful volume profile. I mean, this is a picture perfect volume profile. There's no weird volume nodes anywhere on this profile. We're right at the point of control, session point of control. This is kind of interesting. And it's right where the VWAP is, and it's right where that 9 EMA is. There's definitely price happiness right there for now. So again, we'll see what happens once Powell starts talking. But right now, that's going to act like a magnet for this market until it's not, which means until we kind of break out maybe this swing high up here. That's at 780. We're way below the London initial balance. And, we haven't spent a lot of time above or below the U.S. initial balance on this chart. But anything's possible, though. I love the volume profile on this. It's looking pretty good. Other markets, if the dollar hasn't changed much, it's pretty much, you could see my green percentages here on the dollar currency portion of the quote board here. Swissy, Euro, Canadian dollar, Aussie dollar, British pound, Japanese yen, all positive, all green, but not by a huge percentage. So that's kind of holding in there. The cryptos are a mixed bag. We have, Ether up 1.45%. Everything else is down. The Bitcoin is down 0.72%. We'll see if this kind of gets a little bit of a bump up with risk back on or not later on today. But, we're at that 92,000 level. We've seen that time and time again over the last several days. Kind of going down here to the treasuries. The bonds have given a lot back. We were at 115.20 a second ago. Now we're down to 115.07. So it's not believing the narrative. It's not happy. It is heading downward right now. We're below that session VWAP on the Treasury bond, so I'm a little bit worried about that. Crude holding its own. It's up a little bit today. And then the metals are mixed. Dr. Copper's up. Everything else is down on the metals. So that's where we're at right now. FOMC special. And it is that time, folks. We are ready. That's today's Edge Report. We are ready to trade the close with Nick and XYZ. Hey, guys.
Hey, Jim.
Hi again.
Howdy.
You ready to go?
Always.
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go as long as the
tradition,
tie
Nick
is
and I,
not.
FOMC, the one time it moves more than 15 points.
Wait, say that again, XYZ?
The one time that it moves more than 15 points.
Oh, you mean at the close?
Just at all. We've been stuck in 50-point ranges for our afternoon streams.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, no, I expect some fireworks here. I mean, I expect volatility. Who knows where we're going to end at the end of the day, but I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
I mean, it really just depends on Powell and his presser. I mean, he comes out with a red tie. Who knows how the markets may react? No, honestly, I think we've been in such a range bound market. I think it'll take a little bit of time for it to digest, but doesn't mean that the presser's not going to give us some wild volatility in terms of how the algos respond to his tone, his demeanor as he's responding to some of our lovely financial journalist questions. So, I mean, all bets are off. I have, with us kind of still being range bound, when we do finally break it, whether it be tomorrow or next week. I mean, next week's rollover too, so who knows? But I just scalped this short off the previous day high and was trying to get out before Powell actually stepped up to the microphone. So I did just cover that for about 50 points.
Oh, good. All right, awesome. By the way, Cooper said this is going to be a low vol, the lowest vol presser. I don't know. I have high hopes for some volatility here this afternoon, but we'll find out.
I think
We'll find out.
He's fed up with Nick and I being on the show at the same time.
Yep. This has become a nice little tradition here on NT Live for Trade the Close during FOMC day when XY and I tried to somehow scrape together some
always
pennies
the
in
two
front of a
us, right?
steamroller. I think it has been since we
it's
started
fun.
this, to be honest.
It's fun because I haven't gotten got yet.
Yeah, I really haven't had a bad one. I've had a couple I just didn't really press a button, but let's see what happens here today.
So a couple of fun facts from our friends at Edgeful. On FOMC day, looking back throughout the calendar year 2025, the S&P's performance has been up 0.47%, and the Nasdaq's been up 0.40%, and that's based on every meeting that we've had this year. That's the performance of this index.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm bullish here. I'm just I'm just
No,
throwing
no,
out
I got
stuff.
it. I got it. If he's wearing a tie, we buy. If he's wearing a red tie, we double buy. It's
The
easy. I got
the
it.
tie has to be purple though. He can't be unexpected to the market. If he comes
If
out
it's
with a different color
purple,
tie, then probably what is the 99.9% odds on Polymarket that it's going to be purple.
Mm.
The day he doesn't do that is the day we probably have a limit down day on
well,
FOMC.
yeah, if it's purple, chat has to buy too, or we're all cooked.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure it's purple.
Tracy will be in the chat posting highlights from the speech. I know it's going to start any minute. He's probably walking out there right now, getting his tie. We probably know the color of the tie right now, actually. So, and on that note, when I come back at the end, remind me to ask you guys about, we got to keep talking about ties and how these panels at NFL games, these pretty wealthy ex-players wear the worst ties you've ever seen.
Yeah, they
Yep.
do. They absolutely do.
We got to talk about that. But that event, we'll focus on that later. In the meantime, you guys, I'm going to tip into the chat. Wish you the best of luck today, trading the close on this historic FOMC, at least the most historic FOMC until the next FOMC. So
That
good
is
luck.
correct.
Yeah, not only do the ties suck, the suits suck
Yeah,
90% of the time.
some of them just need a good
It's
stylist.
just like, yeah, this isn't the 60s anymore. It's not the 70s. The tie is giving real
Well,
70s,
I
60s vibes, you know?
I
Pick up a
learned,
newspaper on your front yard.
yeah, I learned shopping for my wedding tie because I had a like almost a midnight forest green suit on my wedding, and finding the right shade of green tie to kind of go with that with like a white shirt was a long process.
Mm,
But I found a perfect one. It just took a lot of different stores and places to go.
a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, but we are just ripping to the upside here. I'll wait
I
for
mean, you know what
Tracy to
Jim
continue
said.
to
Jim said,
throw
rip off your
comments.
sell button.
Yeah, I'm glad I covered that.
Well, you were
My
long
well,
or
no, I
short?
was short off kind of the third rejection of the previous day high. But my thesis was not for anything that had to do with the second pal opens his mouth. So I was just
Right.
aggressively trailing that inside of the 5 minute OR there, kind of around the overnight VWAP as well, and was happily ready to cover if we got above it. But here we go. It's super illiquid. My DOM is freezing currently. There it
Yeah,
goes.
it's a ghost town on the book, so as usual, we'll wait and see. Risks are tilted against each other. The Fed's twin goals. Challenging situation. Well, we've got the our own in-house Bloomberg terminal on full auto today.
These go to 11.
Yes, the DOM is thin. I mean, usually, oddly enough, usually it's thinner. There are like a bunch of holes in price, but it's super thin, but there's
Ooh.
no, yeah, still no holes in price.
I mean, Godspeed to anyone trading this currently.
No one's trading this. You would be gambling this. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how you really do it, but we'll see. What are your positions? No positions currently. I got short around that same like 730s area that we kind of have been reoffering from like all week. So I decided to
Mhm.
just take a stab there. The week open, everything's kind of sitting just a little bit higher than that. But, like I said, this was post rate decision pre PAL. So this thesis, as soon as he was getting close to getting in front of the microphone, I was covering that trade for that exact reason. You just
Yeah,
never know how it's
NQ
gonna
NQ
react.
gifted me a very nice morning, so I want to do my best not to give it a chance to take it back. You know how toxic it is.
Yeah, I know. We got to start trading silver.
Come New Year, you
Oh
won't
yeah,
see NQ on our charts anymore.
it's gonna
NQ's
be.
toxic. Nobody talk to her.
She is. But it's gonna become a let's trade silver and micro Bitcoin. Apparently,
Oh,
that's The
Bitcoin?
micro Bitcoin.
I mean, dude, if it's liquid enough, mm, order
I
flow
mean, I
must
think it
be
is.
pretty decent then.
Cooper, you want us to trade the Rusty? I mean, I can, but I am only mentally allowed to short it. So
Every
you
time he
just
pulls
won't.
up the RTY chart, his buy button, he can't find it anymore. It
Yeah,
just disappears
I will
automatically.
delete it, and you will only find like sell support and resistance levels. Like all you're going to see on my chart is just me marking sell, sell here,
This is
sell
all
here.
it's all resistance levels.
Yes, it's nothing, no support. It's just resistance, and
On
support
the
is
way
zero.
down, it's new
There is
resistance levels.
there is support eventually at zero. When does the craziness of the report die? It really doesn't until he steps away from the microphone because he's giving his statement, I believe, right now. And then he'll get a plethora of questions that can go just about anywhere. So until he's done talking, it's usually pretty illiquid. And then usually until the close, it's still somewhat illiquid. And the market gets to digest this for the next couple days. And then maybe next week, we finally do get the continuation move out of this range that we're kind of sitting in. Do we decide if we're going to make a new all-time high or potentially head back to the prices to not be mentioned that we are never going to see again that are generational down there at the one
We're not going
threes?
there. You had your chance. Nick was the last one. Someone said easy 10K today. Let me hold some, man.
Nick, I like your idea of not trading for the rest of the year. I mean, I'm still trading. I just am definitely winding it down. Like I was in a one lot here on that short. I'm just kind of, if it makes sense and there's an opportunity and I'm at my desk, I'm just not sitting at my desk all day. It's kind of been my plan for the rest of December. Been working on a few personal projects, other things I've been doing around the house. Back to working out super early too, which is nice.
We have
But yeah,
Oracle earnings
we
today.
have Oracle earnings after the bell.
Hmm.
So let's see what the vampire of Silicon Valley has to say. I was going to say the vampire of Wall Street, but that didn't make sense. Here we go again. Is Oracle the most levered company out there? That's a good question. Not often you see too many credit default swaps on a company of that size, but I don't know.
For now.
Yeah, the potentially the most levered one for now.
Yeah, as always, someone's got to be the first to make new records.
That dang 5 minute opening range mid still needs to be deleted.
That's what this is right now.
Yeah.
So, oh, gold, where are you going?
Yeah, I found it interesting that I think we had 7 Fed members pencil in no cuts in 2026. If I was reading that right.
Well positioned to wait on market.
Yeah, I did say that. 7 Fed officials penciled in no rate cuts for 2026, which is interesting. I wouldn't have even had that bet myself. Penciled in, not penned in. You can use the eraser. Yes, I guess that's true.
Just back with an opening range. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Just
we've just
waiting
been.
for him to stop talking and maybe the book will come alive again.
How thin is the S? Oh, 10s and 20s. That's always nice to see
Yeah,
on
ES
ES.
is thin. I'm just looking at my footprint and it's
10,
just
20,
tiny.
15. I mean, yeah, we're whipsawing like 4 points at a time
It's
in ES.
tiny.
ES is looking like NQ on the DOM right now. I don't know if it's the volatility you've been promised, Cooper. It might be the illiquidity that I was promised. Let's see.
Look at this
Not gonna see.
profile. What the hell?
I know it's pretty wild and screams
Oh.
pre FOMC. Did you trade this morning? You said you did?
I did. I had the midday market stream.
Oh yeah.
That went very well. So I'm sitting pretty right now.
Yeah, I really didn't do much today. Sticking to my guns.
So, chat, who's been trading this?
Yeah. It's a safe space.
Who's been spinning this roulette wheel?
Show of hands. As I said, this is a safe environment.
Be honest.
No one will shame you here.
How many R do I average a week? I have no idea. I'm being honest. I have no idea. I just hop on day in, day out, do what I'm supposed to do, try not to do what I'm not supposed to do, and the outcome tends to be income. I'm happy with it. So yeah, I'm not sure on like the R factor, stuff like that. I really try my best not to be hung up on outcomes. It keeps me in line, honestly. Trading here, easy money. Wow.
Hmm. I don't know if I could
Chris
describe.
has made 47 trades in the last 3 seconds.
Little did you know, Chris is the algo.
Literally, yeah. His keyboard's broken now. He needs a new keyboard. Button got worn out.
You got any good FOMC stories while we're waiting to see what happens next? Last December, during when Powell decided to steal Christmas from us all, I happened to be well-timed positioned for a bit of a sell. So I had a good day and then proceeded to give it all back shortly thereafter because we started just immediately moving against it. So I covered like half of that trade the second he started talking and we were already down like 2%. But then the next day and after hours and things, it just eventually bit me in the butt for not just covering the whole trade, which is a good thesis for the how shorting this entire year has really gone.
It's
If you
crazy
get the
because
move quickly or immediately of let's call it a max of 2%, you should probably just exit and reevaluate.
yeah, 2% is not bad. It's pretty decent. The crazy
We
part is we have no idea. Even right now, we have no idea how this 1 hour candle's going to end up because it goes
exactly.
from, oh, this is so bullish to wow, this is so bearish. It's a we are so back and we are so cooked candle.
I haven't even looked at the hour. What are we doing? Oh, that's the 4 hour. The 4 hour looks like the most indecision since Thanksgiving.
The daily too, yeah. I'm looking at the daily. It's just the body is tiny and the wicks both sides are large.
And this initial reaction, I guess, from whatever Powell's statement is and the dot plot and all the other things, does not scream we're going to immediately leave the balance right now, which is annoying. I don't know what it's going to take. But this balance is exactly, I think, why I've been screaming, at least on my side. Like, I don't want to continue to trade as actively and during this time of the year. Like, this is sometimes what you get. That type of consolidation that you can just drive yourself insane, as well as give a lot of gains back from the year trying to trade that type of consolidation.
What's the most you ever lost or made on FOMC? I can't tell you what the most I've made is because I don't really know. But I can tell you what the most I've ever lost is, and that's 14K. It was like a little over 14K earlier on in my trading days, and that account didn't last too long after.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's in my personal, like it's probably somewhere in the five figures when I
Yeah, it's
did something stupid when I was first starting out. But
it
I
was
mean,
my
I've
first
blown.
ever for FOMC. And you say like, "Oh, I'm never trading FOMC again," and like no one ever really sticks to it.
Yeah, I've blown, I mean, countless probably funded prop accounts because that's what I would normally have. Would if I'm going to trade something on FOMC, like that's what I'll trade.
A
And you
graveyard
can,
full of them.
yeah, and just hope for the best that you're on the right side of a move, or you don't get smacked with a drawdown out of nowhere. So, I mean, that's what I would always recommend if you're going to really actively put money at risk on this type of afternoon. You better, I would hope it's in a sim funded prop account and not your personal.
Hmm.
It's just not worth it, guys. But yeah, I've hundreds probably that I've lost over the last few years trying to trade FOMC different months with prop accounts.
I know nothing's got me beat. 18,000 on February 8th, 2020 between 2:35 and 2:47 p.m. He's got me beat.
That's oh well,
Well, I mean, I was newer
that's
then.
that's
Maybe if
pre-COVID.
I had more like false confidence under my belt, I'd probably do something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it was I get really I dial in on losses a lot more than like gains. So I don't know what my biggest FOMC would be. Um, but I can't imagine that it's like something crazy because I try not to do anything crazy on FOMC. So I don't think there is probably in line with the biggest loss in FOMC. And that would only be if I'm already sitting in something. Because otherwise I don't really have a scenario that I would be in where I can make tons off FOMC. No. It would just be like scalps that occur fast. And if I'm in line with the market, then cool.
Are you crazy for trading the extremes here, first time FOMC? I mean, you're not crazy that if you're going to do something like that with how this volume profile looks on the session. Like, it's not the worst idea if you really are going to sit here and trade it. It's just to play the edges. But be careful the second it starts to creep above or below.
Yeah, if you guys are giving yourself an R multiple or any risk value that makes sense, then it's just like it could be like any other trade, honestly. Cut it when it's not working. And if it does work, then you get paid more than your risk and it's all good. Now it's going to barcode for an hour. I mean, it really could if they don't really choose a side here.
Yeah. I mean, look at the
The book is just still super thin right now.
look at the weekly volume profile.
I know.
What a mess. Should be a daily 4 hour.
Look at gold just
I told you, man. Gotta start trading silver. Gold is just about to become toxic. The new toy is going to be silver.
Yeah.
We're going to just ride it all the way to 70 or something, 71, 100. I don't know. I have no idea extensions at this point or how
Stuck in
much it
this
can typically
range.
move, but
Look at the overlapping POCs on this thing. Jeez. It's just in this range.
Mm-hmm. And we should just start a campaign that, we're gonna make silver happen. Like we're
Yeah,
just gonna make it
everyone
the
start
new
trading silver.
precious metal that is everyone's favorite. So we can start pumping some liquidity into it. So it
It's
moves.
just it's just us and chat trading against each other
Yeah.
on the silver book.
So it's a little more well. So there's a lot more volume on it, and liquidity that allows us to actively trade it and not be scared out of our minds pressing a button.
It's like our own little arena. It's just us and chat. Oh, here we go.
How far is ES from the all-time high? Ah, okay.
Good question.
So
I don't have high time from ES up
it's like 60 points away.
that close.
Yeah, we're really not far. Just a decent up day.
Hmm.
I think NQ's got more work to do. Yeah.
We think job gains overstated by 60K. Okay.
Gotta scrunch my screen
All right,
again.
so liquidity is actually slowly coming back on the book, but he's still talking on.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Are there
All
any
right, yeah.
specific time frames that you are always watching in unison with one another? I mean, I tend to always have eyes on, a longer time frame as well, just to have context of where we're trading. And it doesn't need to be like all like neck and next to, let's say, my 500 volume NQ chart, but you need to have context. I feel like where we are trading on a 1 hour, 4 hour, 30 minute, whatever it is, if you're day trading. Let's
There's
see.
quite a bit of sell coming in that's not getting
Yeah.
what they want.
The
Be
next
interesting.
area is that like 890s to 860s.
I think this thing is going to just rocket up. There's a lot of unrewarded selling coming in right now on the tape.
Oh, sellers dropping the ball? Color
I
me
think
shocked.
so. Tale as old as time.
I mean, yeah, just send it at this point, guys.
Yeah, there's some stuck selling now, which gives us a lot of information.
I mean, we just rebid right off the overnight low and took off a dang 5 minute or mid, all of it.
Still selling.
Apparently, I was the last seller to be rewarded.
I'm adding more favorite traces. Okay, well, someone is long. Chat is long.
I mean, yes,
Was there
but
not a VWAP trade? Yeah, but this is a different environment. In a news-based environment like this, I don't care what level or squiggly line price is running towards. I don't know that order flow would even care if the book is super thin. It
mhm.
doesn't give me any reference. Yeah, so yeah,
And it can change on a dime too,
yeah.
based on whatever he says in the moment.
Hey, I just realized we got matching hats.
Are you wearing the NC Live one?
Yeah,
I assumed you were wearing your Dodgers hat or something.
it's a special day. I don't have a Dodgers hat. I have an LA hat.
Same, same. Yeah, and chat, while we're hanging here, still waiting for Pal to tell us our long-lasting fate in this world. Make sure you have hit like, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. For all 700 plus people that are in here, I would hope we're gonna have at least 700 likes, so we can tell Leo that it was not a fluke and we were not bought,
Ah, man, haters will say it was fake.
click farmed, whatever we would call it.
We
You
had
bombed.
like, dude, I think we had like 75,000 likes. It was like 200,000 viewers. You
All
guys remember that, right,
organic.
chat?
All organic.
Yeah, you guys remember that, right, chat? It
You
was
sure
like,
about that? You
Yes.
sure about that?
yeah, it
You
was
sure
like,
about that?
it was like 150,000 likes and like 600,000 views or something like that.
Yeah. All real. All organic. Nothing fishy there. Haters will say it's not real and it's in my mind.
Haters gonna hate, man. Bradley, I appreciate that. Thank you for your efforts.
They just don't want to see us succeed.
Now I'm just sitting here like, could I mean, I could have bought those 780s. I really could have, but no. Book is thinning out again.
How high can we go? Hmm.
Gold went from all the way down to just the most bullish candle ever.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Gold was just so over.
Oh,
Now it's so back.
tap the downside. I was like, yeah, nope. You thought, yeah, they are so back.
Yeah, someone just puked 200 lot, a 200 lot down there and oops.
Fat finger. It happens. There is definitely willing bid up here in the 800s. If they can trade under this, I wonder what it would cause.
There's still a lot of sellers trying to initiate up here. Who's going to win, chat? Gold heard me talking about silver. That's very true. She got jealous and decided to absolutely rip.
I love gold.
You know, the hard part too is even with the order flow we're seeing, it's like, yeah, you could long those 780s, 790s because that's where the selling keeps coming in and getting busted. It's like all the way up here on a high time frame. You're just hoping for a high time frame break, which is it's tough. The high time frame location in the market that FOMC is giving us to work with is just really dicey. So it's going to be extra difficult. Yeah, like they're catching that same bid in this area, but to long this means you're longing this. Tough. Tough. Lots to consider. What are the red boxes? Oh, it's just these zones right
The
here.
proprietary.
Um, Supply zones, pretty much, resistance, whatever you want to call it. That would be these. Nothing fancy. Question got ran over. Just asking what made you choose to trade NQ over ES when you're finding your trading style. I think it's similar to a lot of people probably. So obviously, I started with ES for a good while, and people just started trading NQ. When I discovered OFL, I was like, well, everyone's trading NQ, it looks like, and I was like, well, let's give it a shot. And when I started it, I had better results very quickly because things happened more more often in NQ, and it provided good enough range to see your idea play out to take profits. And I think it alleviated a lot of like having to be so patient and sit in trades and wait for trades or setups in ES that it just ended up working better for me. So not having I always assumed that it was because I didn't have to be as patient. And while ES is trying to play out a certain idea, by the time it plays out, NQ has played it out multiple times, and that just worked better for me, I think, especially as a scalper. So I just never looked back unless I was trading both. So I would only trade both or just NQ because of that. And I just found my footing in NQ at some point and got used to it. But yeah, it was ES first, with order flow, with the DOM, it was always ES. And with NQ, it took some time to get acquainted with the order flow, with the DOM at some point. And I was just like, I should compress this thing. And the order flow read, just, I guess, read more true in a lack of words way to say it, lack of a better word. It was more, I don't know, readable, executable because uncompressed on the DOM, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I look at the bid ask, and if it's not compressed, it's really thin, and I can't make much of it. So that's how I ended up on NQ. Yeah,
It, it's funny. We ripped like 200 points on NQ and 50 points on ES, and it really doesn't feel like that.
6900 ES is there's a bit of a wall. Yeah. Rod is done for the day. Target hit.
Nice.
150 ES points. No, 65. Oops. 55. Well done. Oh, the stat makes a new high in M period or makes a new high in power hour. It will likely make one in M period, but I don't know if, FOMC is or data
Yeah, how much
events
that skews that
would play
statistic.
much. Yeah. It's really hard to do anything with this at this location too. They finally give us some movement on the stream, but they do it in a place where we're just like locked out of being able to do much. They hate us, don't they? Gold. Just turned right around and went
She just
complete other
ripped.
direction. And Q is building.
I mean, like everything's ripping. Oil's ripping too.
Gamma? Is
What?
Gamma in the room with us?
Oh, I don't know.
So the Gamma is in the room with us? I don't know. All I know is, guys, still haven't seen those 140s. Generational. My thumbs up button is glitching, keeps going from 239 to 240.
I guess someone else needs to hit the thumbs up button then, so we
Yeah, please
stop
hit the
whatever
like to fix it.
shenanigans that is.
It's like, have you tried turning it off and turning it on?
Yep. Hit refresh. I'm very curious if we're gonna pop up to those like 890s.
Yeah, they're spending some time up here. And they're holding the selling, but they're not exactly poking higher just yet. What is that? 25,850. So Gamma is in the room with us at 25,850. Yeah, they're struggling to
yes.
make another high.
Apparently Gamma is in the room with us.
The Gamma is always out there.
Gamma is invading your personal space. I mean, it sometimes they'll do that. But if you don't believe in it, it can't hurt you.
I'm gonna put on one lot here.
Long? Oh no, you're short.
I am short. Yeah, I'm gonna put on one.
I was gonna say you're longing now. You're gonna get long.
I know.
Just it didn't seem like your trade would be like
It's
suddenly
like
a
I'm just sitting here
breakout
talking
for
about how they're failing to make another high, and like,
yeah.
this is the time.
Yeah, like now I can't really define any risk to the downside, but I'm gonna long this for the breakout.
Yeah, I want to see what they do with this. Looks like it's a no. Sweep prior week's high, then tank. Yeah, we'll see. We were watching some selling. They just didn't really get what they wanted. Yeah, that long, huh? If I would have went long there with no stop, I'd make money. Sure. Don't FOMO, bro. That wasn't long.
Yeah, we're probably just gonna hit previous week high, aren't we? I mean, ES is right there too, so and that would probably equate to us hitting what is likely another Gamma in the room with us at 6,900.
Wow, look at gold.
I mean, this is what I get, guys. If I didn't start talking about silver being a hot new
Uh-huh.
toy for all of us to play with next year, gold would have definitely just continued to consolidate, as XY was talking about, that it's been stuck between like the 250s and 200s for, or 270s to
We're
200s.
just slowly finding out what Nick's special powers are.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna take a bit of time, some R&D.
I mean, since Thanksgiving, much like indices have been stuck range bound, we basically have just been ping ponging like a 50-point range for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Isn't that fun?
We hear a lot about. So he's still talking, huh?
So from their contacts, so their contacts is just the upper part of that K, I would imagine, because they're not talking to the average person
Nope.
because they have no idea.
Nick, the signal for a tick. Yeah, he's the signal now. We just gotta find out how to calibrate the signal. But it's definite. There's something there. Housing market faces some really significant challenges.
Come on, just punch the previous week high at this point. Don't reoffer here. Gold is still moving.
Fiber, Nick's got multiple signals. That much we've learned. We just saw it with gold.
Yeah,
So we're gonna do some R&D.
I have the jealous ex-girlfriend signal right there.
What does silver have that I don't? Watch this.
Yeah, the classic hold my beer maneuver by gold right there.
Silver is ripping first. Well, they got to compete for Nick's attention. It's just how it is.
But yeah, silver also, the quote farm, just a straight piss missile to the upside.
All right, well, what the hell is this? He must be saying something interesting here. They've just tried to stuff an offer in the book, and well, we are seeing what's happening to it right now.
The bid is always out there.
This is
Everybody,
sad. Why is it sad?
everybody, just get out and push so we can apparently tag the previous week high here.
Seems like the book is back. So maybe he's done speaking. Eh?
I
PA so
guess.
slow. Yeah, I mean, you've got to chew through a lot of supply, and that's what they're doing. It is, yeah, we've seen this offer so many times. There's going to be a bit that the buyer's going to have to chew through. Generally how like trend days up are, right? It's always slow. really shallow because there's just so much they got to chew through, and they do. In a falling market, there's not as much to chew through because bids are actually being pulled and turning into sell. So
What do you mean by book is
the book
back?
is back. It's just
He's
more liquidity on the book at
Yeah.
each price.
There's actual volume like on the buy and sell on both sides.
Yeah, more volume in between so that, if you want to go down, it's not like you fill two lots and now price is just moving like earlier. Now you've got to fill like maybe 20, 25, 30. Or participation.
Yes.
Books are back. Everyone reading these days. Cooper's fucking funny, man.
Nick
This
switched his hat
segment
to sport
sponsored
mode.
by, whatever book company.
I don't even know any book companies. I actually bought like 5 books
What's
recently.
what's the one that all schools use? Like something scholastic, something
Oh, I don't know.
scholastic. When you go to like the book fair.
Well, okay, I was about to say how we can be millennials here because we used to have book fairs. If does anyone know what
Oh
that
yeah,
is?
we're aging ourselves.
Yes.
So why don't you chat? Why don't you, while the market's slow, you can't do anything, go out and pick up rainbow fish, where the wild things are, that we've got a good
I
selection.
I read Rainbow Fish the other night.
Yeah, Rainbow Fish is the GOAT book. No one's gonna convince me otherwise.
I
There's
read
also Goosebumps if you like some spooky stuff, right?
what did I read Madeline the other night and I was like, this book is like weird. And it's like weirdly dark. And I'm like, why am I reading this to my 1-year-old?
Yeah, they
She like
hit
has
different.
appendicitis in the middle of it. I'm like, what is happening in this book?
They hit different when you get older.
Yeah. It was weird.
Eh,
I was like, literally, why are we talking about appendicitis in a children's book right now?
we've got some old people in the chat. We got some unks in the chat. Look at this, dude.
All right. NQ took out last week's high. Yes. Did it do it? Yes, it did. Yeah.
No,
Previous
but
month
I'm not
high, though, just
convinced.
above it.
Nkey's high is not convincing yet.
There was like
Seems
7 people
incomplete.
up there.
Seems incomplete. ES has got three ticks, 0 print. I'm not sure if the market will ever go down again. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Well, we talked about it. Generational lows.
Yeah. And actually, I think they just made it illegal to sell.
Wait, book fairs are still a thing? I guess I don't have any friends that have like older
You don't have any
elementary school kids.
friends in the fourth grade?
Well, all my like friends that have kids, like everyone's still in the younger, like kindergarten might be the oldest one at this point. I don't think I have any that are like have like third graders that do the book fair and stuff.
Give a goose a muffin. Well, I'm glad people in the chat know what we're talking about, so we're not like just two old dudes talking about back in my day.
My neighbor has a borrow book thing in out front. Yeah, I have somebody in my neighborhood that does that. But that's kind of what we did. We asked for on like the registry, like in lieu of more random gifts and clothes, like bring your kids like favorite book or get us that. Like we did that for our baby registry.
Well, Josh is talking about just stealing them and turning them for a profit, so they definitely hate to see him coming. At some point, he's just gonna start like a protection business where he extorts them for protection.
Are we really going to reoffer here? Like ES is going to take out last month's high, like 4
Is
points
this,
higher.
hmm.
I mean, I'm an idiot because I'm thinking of leaning my gut to bet with sellers actually finding some semblance of energy to try to push this market down when they just have been slapped
As
in the
it's just
face
like flying upside.
since 23,900 a couple weeks ago.
You know that Nicolas Cage meme where he's just like trying to time it?
Wait, which one is that?
I forget what that movie's called. But he's like he's trying to time the go, and then people would just make a dub over where it's like your P&L, and he's just like, oh, not yet, not yet. The P&L's green. And then when he goes, all right, now the P&L's red. Dude, what? I don't know if production can find that. It's so funny.
Am I fading this? No, I've already faded it once and got paid before Pal started talking. I mean, could we sell and push all the way back to what is our permanent home for the last few weeks around I guess the 68 50 somethings. I feel like we've been in for 2 weeks straight. Absolutely, but am I going to really want to bet with sellers right now? No. Not just yet. They got to show me something. Show me some heart. Oh, Tracy says there's more gamma in the room with us. Yeah, I guess at Oracle, we still do have Oracle, so who knows? Whatever we do may not matter. I want to short this, but I don't want to short this. What's gold doing? Ooh. Should I short gold?
Tracy was right about the 850, it looks like. Yeah. Short and oh, there's a call. Short now or forever hold your peace.
You know, it
I don't
doesn't
think
take
I
a
want to.
lot for me to find the motivation to short this absolute pig of a market at times, but today may not be one of those days. I'm one of those people that you could probably say you won't short this right now, and I will say hold
You
my
won't
beer.
do it. You're not down.
You're not
You're
going to
not
do
down.
it.
Me?
No, but
Me?
no, yeah, like I just will be like, oh, you think so? And then
Say,
suddenly
I
I'm
know you're
pressing the
not
red
talking to
button.
me. I'll do it.
Daddy's home. Short now and get stopped 4 seconds later. Sounds very possible. Like that used to be the thing that me and my buddy, like that's, I guess, going back to college and after college, where that was how you could egg somebody on, was just,
Yeah,
you won't,
that's how you pressure somebody.
you won't.
No, I know you. You won't. You- You're not that guy. It's like, I know you're not talking about me. Watch me do this. Nick, the signal.
Hey, shout out to Green Beans. Just passed my
Green.
first
It
prop
would be
challenge.
it would be during FOMC. Yeah.
I mean, that's a hell of a way to do it. Not what I would recommend for your first prop challenge pass, but hey, if it worked, it worked.
Way to go. All right, chat. We already know what's cooking, right? We just got to egg Nick on to take the short and watch where the stop is. And once it gets
Well,
hit, we go. Everybody, market
unfortunately,
sell.
I don't really want to
This
short
is
this
how we win.
just yet. I would like to short this potentially if ES pops another like 6, 7 points, and then maybe I try.
What's 6, 7 points? Is that some kind of level or something?
Well, I
Swing?
mean, yeah, that would take out previous month high as well as the meme from the Gen Alpha kids.
Mm.
Get it? 6 or 7 points.
Yeah, look at chat. Look at chat.
Brother,
Check the chat.
You guys. What's your opinion on CME events? You mean like event contracts? I never actually played around with those.
Me neither. Yeah.
production is old confirmed. We're all pretty old.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty old.
I've learned because I mean I learned from more people that I talk to in this space, especially in the day trader streamer world. XY and I are on the back nine of that world, is what we have learned. And then we have, Leo that may be on 18 somewhere.
I think Leo is like 68 years old.
I mean, you too, you're somewhere between 20 and 40, and nobody can.
If you at well, the other day we were hovering. I was like, chat, what's it looking like? They're like 20 to 40. Some more data came out. I said something that might have aged me, and then they revised their targets to the 60s and 70s. So yeah, right there. He's 67. So the offer, the order flow has changed on that. It's looking like we've got 89. The heat map is like shifting upwards on this.
Yes, it's very true. XY is going to look 20 his entire trip up to eventually being 40.
It's just in a blink of an eye, I'm gonna look 40.
And then suddenly he's 40 and looks 80. No, I'm kidding.
Your body couldn't take it. Hey, life comes at you fast, man.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Shab. Well, Shab, I was trying to change up the vibe because we were just meandering here at the highs. Nothing was happening.
Well, I told
Gold.
Nick we were matching hats, and he's like, I hate it. And then I don't know what he's got against me, but
I also signaled a rally in gold by talking about silver, Shab. So clearly precious metals are just angry with me today.
fighting for Nick's attention.
Mm-hmm. Because as XY would say, NQ is toxic. Don't even talk to her.
Literally, no. If any one of us gets into a position right now, it's direct to the stop. I already know it.
Just saw now on Polymarket, Nick won't short, paying 10 to 1. That's probably fair. That's actually probably fair odds that I will not take a short trade here. And if I do, it would in fact pay you 10 to 1.
Yeah, welcome to the party, Shab. It's just chat trying to goad Nick into shorting however they can.
Yes. Everyone's trying to just egg me on here to take a short.
You won't do it.
See? Bad
You won't do
influence.
Yeah. You won't do it.
You won't short gold. I mean, I'm not shorting gold on that move.
Well, we don't know if it's working until he finally hits the button, He's not giving us too much feedback on it. So
I mean, I did say the 260 or 860s to 890s, but I kind of wanted a bigger, like.
there it is. Look, there's a new one. Sounds like someone isn't confident enough in their trading abilities.
Oh, Phoenix of all people, man.
If you were for real, you'd short this right now.
I should inverse everybody trying to inverse me and just go long.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Chat was killing Joey this morning.
Were they? They're just cooking him?
Dude, they were killing him. Like they could not stop talking about that he's bald. So it's like, oh, I didn't know NinjaTrader had that kind of budget. They got Pitbull on today or some shit like that.
Well, I guess I would hope the chat just welcoming
There
Joey.
was just so many. I could not stop laughing. One of them was like, he was like, at some point he was asking for likes. He's like, hit the likes. One guy was like, I can't see it. It's the reflection is too bright. Yeah, so.
Oh, there it is. Our fearless commander in chief with a lovely comment about the Fed that it should have been twice the cut.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the morning stream. Thanks for hopping on. Dio, all right, my man Dio. I gotta conjure up Dio right now. What's on the menu, Dio? You short, you long, you're in something.
I feel like Dio said he wasn't going to be around. He's probably having a nice afternoon, or I guess evening, where he is across the pond.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He'll show up in chat right now.
I mean, he might just be listening somewhere, but Guys, there's no short here yet.
You know what's crazy? It's crazy that they've done this to us. They've actually done this to us, man. They've locked us in
Yeah.
a 20-point range,
They gave us the range.
even
or they
on
gave us the
FOMC.
move. And
They're
I
like, you
caught,
know what? We're gonna lock these guys in a range. We're just gonna do it up here this time.
yeah, we're going to do it violently first.
Just let them think the market's gonna move, and then just like stick them at the 850s. Retest top, almost quad top.
Well, we know double tops
Yeah,
are not
top's
real.
real, chat.
Quad tops, definitely not real.
Or top's real, chat. I think we can maybe get a move if Nick wears his hat to the side, like tilted.
I mean,
What
I
do you
could
guys
just turn it inside out like a little leaguer in the dugout.
What do you guys think, chat? Should he reposition his hat?
I mean,
Maybe
clearly
hang
the
it off the
backwards
side of his
hat is
head?
not bringing us vibes. So maybe we just change the hat.
I mean, we could play around with it. I mean, I'll
You know,
just like,
because I'm sponsored / not sponsored by Bucky's apparently. So
we can mess around
if
with it.
if
You've
anyone
got to
from Bucky's
try
is out there, give
different
me free
things,
stuff. I'll take a gift card of $5, which will not get me very far in that store, unfortunately.
Now I can't see half my charts, so this isn't gonna work. Side hat is tough, like, but then I can't see stuff. You know?
Am I full port? No. Guys, does anyone see a short here? Is there anything that gives you an indication that I really want to short this yet? Outside of calling top of the high of the day at last week's high, because they reoffered there once, they're going to maybe do it again. There's no thesis here. Stop trying to egg me on.
Reginald,
me a
what do you think? What do you
sombrero?
think Nick should do, Reginald? Put some emojis in there. Make it convincing.
I could just throw the cowboy hat on. Maybe that'll do it.
Boo, Cowboys. Or unless you're talking about a real cowboy hat.
It's a real cowboy hat. It is a Stetson. Nothing is happening here. My goodness.
I even changed my hat. Maybe I'll just.
Yeah, I changed to a different hat.
XY is bald. Yeah. Just cut my hair, actually. It was getting out of control. It was getting too long. I think anything after like 5 days, 6 days, it's too long. Gotta cut it off.
Trump says we can have not just growth without inflation, tremendous growth. Throwing that tremendous adjective in there. They really did it. They really did it. They spooked us out of taking any trades as Powell was talking because it was just an absolute rip to the upside, and then decided, okay, Powell's done. We're just gonna chop here at the highs and let Gamma be in the room with us. ES though, making a move here. Maybe it'll take out last month's high.
This will do it. This will do it. This will work. You know what's it's insane that it's about to be the algo and nothing has happened.
Speaking of Bass Pro XY, I may need to go there to finish my side project that I was started this weekend. I'm
Ah,
out. I need a tool
the one that
that
you sent
broke.
us.
Yeah,
Ah,
not done because when you have a kid, you run out of time.
some stuff actually just came in yesterday for me to work on too, so
Nice.
it will be fun.
My gosh, can we do something here? Can we break a new high? Sell off something. There is a 300. No, it moved. Never mind.
Now I understand why you're wearing a hat. How bald does it look on stream? Let me see this camera.
How about a bee or a fly that's flying around my office right now?
Be patient, get into Zen. Actually, nothing is gonna happen.
I mean, I prepped some wonderful chicken pot pies for dinner during my lunch hour, so
You said
I'm
pot
very
pie?
zen right now.
You got pot pie, you said?
Yeah, I prepped the filling for him at lunch. I'm just sitting on the stove.
Ah, look, 18 now. Order flow has changed. Oh my goodness. What a market.
No, no, I hate it.
Maybe we need to convince the market that I won't sell. Like they won't do it.
Pot pie does not have crust. That's a chicken pie. Pot pies have crust.
They do.
Otherwise, I don't know what it is. Just like a
Says it's a
chicken
chicken
chowder
pie.
at that point because of the thickness.
Larry Pumpkin, I appreciate that. I'm glad I gave you value. You got egg roll.
Yeah,
Every
pot pie
pot
just
pie I've
definitely
eaten
has
had
crust.
crust. I don't know. I don't know.
There's a place in Corona Del Mar in Southern California that actually makes one with like a croissant kind of crust. Like that's the texture of it, and it's amazing.
All right, man. They've been bumping their heads up here quite a bit. Who's gonna do it, man? Who's gonna do it, chat?
Someone needs to do something here.
Who's gonna do it?
Yeah, I do need the Stewie sound effect of I hate it here.
Am I
Cough,
a
cough,
cook?
production.
Ooh. I'm not a cook.
Pot pie is a Pennsylvanian Dutch food, no crust. Well, I'm doing the American version, man, dude. I guess because mine has crust.
What will the downside short target be? It's gotta be at least, I don't know. If it does sell from here, it's gotta test the 800s again, I would imagine. Not
I
to
mean,
say I'm actually looking to short this thing.
if we really did sell, it probably goes back to like the 730s.
730s to retest that would be, yeah, reasonable.
Or yeah, the
We
week
do have
open
that
maybe
batch of
a
stuck
little bit above it.
shorts around 790s. So if they go through that, yeah, there's not much else before like 730s, 740s. So we'll see.
Well, there's a lovely poll. Wow, I didn't read the fourth option until just now. What will ES and NQ do into the close? Will they break new highs, move to the downside, chop around, or the opposite of whatever I say? Place your vote. I think I know what everyone's going to pick. Happy FOMC day, everybody.
Who made that?
I'm even going to put the opposite of what I say. I do want to know who did that. Zab, was that you? Trying to know which one of my friends is trolling me from behind the scenes. Friends.
With friends like that, who needs enemies?
If you short, we would agree with you. No one. You guys just want me to short so I eventually get stopped out. Although buyers are doing absolutely nothing up here at these highs, outside of just losing steam. Like
This looks like everyone's losing steam.
like when they do this at the highs towards the end of the day, this is where like someone steps in and just liquidates all of these late buyers here for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, it sucks that they just pinned us in this spot, honestly, in the market. It's like what are you gonna do? Long up here, and also what do you do short this insane? I mean, there's plenty of better trades that could be had in any other given day. It's hard to really want to do something like this. Unless you're a real man. Yeah, you would short it. Light the J and short the market, no biggie. Oh, that's some new alpha.
I can't believe they just have kept us in a 20-point range for the last 30 minutes, XY. Actually, in fact, almost for the last hour.
Yes,
Nick,
you
I am
long here
short,
on
so you
FOMC
buy?
day near highs. I'm in. Nick, I am short, so you buy, please.
Guys, it's not a fade Nick signal. It's a Nick has terrible stop placement signal. And his read is correct. He's just early and has a stop a little too tight, apparently. We've seen it several times.
Well, to you, it's a shitty stop, but to many of us,
It
the
is
perfect stop.
the signal.
Absolute perfect stop.
Watch, it will pay. I may have been early, but I'm not wrong.
Yep. me and Burry. Although I would never have had the cojones to short Nvidia and Palantir, but Godspeed.
Yeah, I really thought we'd get a pretty action-packed FOMC to make up for all the slow noon streams we've had, but surprise, everybody.
Well, we do have the Kane algo here in a couple minutes. My gut read is still to short this, but I kind of wanted to see a better high than that.
You guys keep requesting stuff from Nick like that. He's gonna have to start a paid service.
Yeah, I just, Discord coming soon. Signals stream something coming soon. I don't know. You guys know XY and I are the two people. We are probably the two laziest to ever actually do that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work, man.
It sounds like
But
a lot of effort.
I'll have you guys know this. Backstage has alerted us about something very important. You are looking at...
Whoa. Before we do this, are you about to give away the most proprietary
Should I give it to him?
chart drawing
Should I
of
give
all
it to him?
time?
How many likes are we
Yes.
at? How many likes are we at?
I mean, we need at least 12 more likes before XY unleashes the
Hey.
chart pattern of the gods that will give us the signal we need.
I need to check the windows, see if there's a van outside. They might come scoop me. They might do me like they did Jim yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, guys, me starting a Discord would be the ultimate FinTwit Furu top signal that would start correcting immediately. Whatever the market is going to be over the second I create one.
Dude, are we there on the likes?
We
Okay.
are at
We are?
330 likes, so you can proceed,
Look,
Mr.
guys.
Artiste.
Look at this. Let me just expand this. You are looking at and this only occurs once every 240 years. You are looking at the Brontosaurus pattern playing out in full effect, live on stream. Who else would be streaming at a momentous occasion like this? It is Nick and I. You are looking at the Brontosaurus pattern. How do I draw on this thing? You guys see it. You guys see it. I don't need to draw it. I don't need to tell you what comes after this pattern.
Attention traders, it's algo time.
Tell you once every 2,000 years, this pattern presents itself. Yeah, it only comes out every 66 million years. Yep. It was just 240 years. Well, 240, 2,000, 66 million. You get the idea. Yes, it means the market is about to go extinct. But we won't trade the 140s. We will stop it at around the 160s. You saw it here. It's happening. Me and Nick.
I mean, even the Kane algo did nothing.
Now watch the double or nothing. It's going to play out the Brontosaurus pattern.
Could also be the Loch Ness Monster pattern.
Could also
That's
be.
fair.
That's like the weaker signal. This one
The
is
lesser known
Bronto.
Loch Ness Monster pattern. That only occurs in the overnight because majority of the volume has to basically be occurring under the water.
Mhm. I'm telling you guys, watch in about 3.5 minutes, you're gonna see the full power of the Brontosaurus pattern. Leo doesn't have a stat for the setup because it's only happened twice.
Of course,
This
the
is the
short's
second
going to
time.
work. If they sell it after all you folks in the chat just trying to bait me into shorting this, that would be just the chef kiss.
Well, look, they're telling you, look, FOMO short, Nick.
Oh, I'm not going to short now.
FOMO short. Well, if you don't want to participate in the Bronto pattern, once every 260 million years, man.
The shenanigans from you folks in the chat sometimes.
Quant Bront. Yeah, I think we were being pretty ungrateful all stream. We were just blindly accusing the market of doing nothing and just treating us poorly when all this time they were setting up the generational, once in many lifetimes, Brontosaurus pattern. Yeah, guys, you need to understand the magnitude of what you're witnessing live. This pattern, it only shows up once every 13 billion years.
I just set the generational high. Yes. Go
Tops
chasing
aren't real.
waterfalls.
Tops aren't real.
I mean, Florida man, am I crazy or did you just try to quote TLC?
Where's Florida man? Go to they're
I,
giving you 58 seconds, and yeah, in about 50 seconds, this Bronto pattern is going to play out in full effect. It will be in the history books.
yes.
And
What happens when you sometimes get the Brontosaurus pattern is eventually you get the asteroid correction pattern that occurs shortly thereafter it is
well, don't
formed.
give them everything. We're only at like 300 something likes. Come on.
So we'll see if the I just can't keep making these jokes. I'm just like losing it.
Here it is, 15 seconds.
We already know the asteroid is priced in. You're right. That's why the buyers are going to probably step back in and make a new high of the day for the double or nothing algo.
All right, it's time. It's Bronto time.
We don't want
Bronto
no scrub.
doubters. Bronto doubters, reveal yourselves.
They really did not. I can't believe we just did nothing for the last hour. That's just annoying.
All right, maybe, just maybe,
It's Bronto
maybe,
time.
maybe we made the whole Bronto thing up.
Well, Bronto actually, I think Oracle acquired a small e-commerce software company called Bronto, and it actually was a Brontosaurus. I believe Oracle did acquire them way back when.
And they're doing earnings today.
Yes. So if you don't believe in the Bronto pattern with Oracle
Look.
about to report on deck, that was one of their acquisitions.
So you're saying it's written in the stars that we sell off to close?
Well, the Bronto pattern, I don't know how it ends anymore.
I mean, isn't it coincidental? Bronto pattern. They acquired Brontosaurus or Bronto, whatever, and they're doing earnings, which means the pattern might look. You guys heard it here first. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So I was actually slightly incorrect. In fact, NetSuite acquired Bronto and Oracle acquired NetSuite. So little
they're
4D
just trying to
chess
bury
there.
the secrets.
Hey guys,
Hey, Jim.
there's a lot of controversy over this pattern.
I believe it.
Well, because it only
is
presents
it-
itself once every 16 billion years.
Well, but not only that, anthropologists are debating whether is Brontosaurus correct or is it Apatosaurus? There was back in 1915 a conflict on what the name should be, and I don't think that's been resolved yet.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying we're not sure if it's going to be huge up or huge down. Is that what you're saying?
Oh my God. Down pronto in Latin. I guess it's down. Oh, that's funny, Shape. Shape Cap says I was around for it in 1915. Pretty close. Oh, man. Well, interesting day today. I mean, between 2 and 3, we had a lot of what did Tracy call it? Jigginess, or can't remember the name she used.
Well, we're going down. So
We're going
Brontosaurus
down.
pattern. You guys knew what was going to happen.
It appears the Brontosaurus pattern is going to fail.
No, the Brontosaurus is bearish.
Is it bearish?
It's bearish. But if it reverses here, it's bullish.
It's profit takers. That's it. We're not going much past Jacks 2 at 800. Every time I say that out loud, I'm wrong, but that's my guess. We'll see. That edge flow stat is holding up, man. 8.47% year to date. green on the NASI on FOMC day. And we're at
Go sideways,
0.44%
wing
right
bat.
now.
Chat's just trying their best to plug some sort of species into this pattern right now. It went from the Bronto to a developing wingbat.
Did you say dingbat?
Wingbat. I don't know what a wingbat is, but someone over leveraged trader says if it goes sideways, it's a wingbat.
Oh, there we go. We're going to get to the 800s.
Could it be? There it is. Trogdor pattern.
Almost there. Almost there. There we go. We got it.
There it is. Bronto pattern in
Confirmed.
effect. So I'll see you guys in the next 16 billion years for the next Bronto pattern.
You saw it here first on Trade the Close here on NinjaTrader Live.
Hit the
You might
likes.
never see it again, like Haley's comment.
You guys should co-author a book and have this as a chapter.
I mean, this is going down in the NT Live historian's handbook right here.
Look at
That
We
one
closed-
day it revealed itself.
closed
If
at
only we
800.
said to go short.
I get it. I mean, it worked. Just not very much, but it worked.
Well, thanks for hanging out, guys, because it was, hey, look, we all saw what the market was and wasn't doing. But
Yes, for sure. Thank you for everybody for being here with us today on this FOMC special day. It was quite a day. We had a lot of great guests. We're not done yet, though. We have tomorrow, we have quite a crew. Tammy Marshall, the Fibonacci Princess, is our special guest with me and Craig tomorrow. So we're looking forward to Tammy as usual. Farm is going to be here for Tape Talk. And then, Nick, you're coming back with Jack in the morning, is my understanding, to trade the open.
That's correct.
Awesome. And then, but wait a second, XYZ is also coming back. He's not going to be outworked. He's like, nope, if Nick is coming back, I'm coming back. Nick, XYZ, and Selma will be here for midday markets.
we are. All right, just look. Okay.
Yeah, you're not done yet, man. I'll send some food through that little slot at the bottom of the
Can
door.
I get something other than gin today?
Why would you want something other than gin in the beginning?
I just
in
want
the
to
first
eat
place?
something. I don't want this
I
liquid
got some
Peptide
cheese
anymore.
and I got some cheese and crackers. I'll throw those through. Trade the close tomorrow, Leo and Joey. So we got a full lineup tomorrow. We expect some markets to move here. We had a lot of movement across the board today as expected. So it was a great day. Appreciate you, XYZ and Nick. Appreciate everybody in the chat. One last mention of the subscription button. It's great for the channel. It's great for everybody involved. Best community there is, no question about it, in the trading sphere. Is NinjaTrader Live. So if you see that subscription button floating across your screen, just tap that. It'd be awesome. We'd greatly appreciate that. Having said all that, again, thanks, XYZ. See you tomorrow. Nick, I will see you tomorrow as well.
Yep.
And I want to remind everybody, most important message of the day, please be safe out there and be good to each other. See you soon.
Cheers,
See you,
everybody.
chat.